Okay, it was not as easy as today. Okay, today we have Linux, Mac OS X, Windows.
That's it.
Okay, but those days, many. For example, under System V, we had Sun OS. Okay, Sun had its own operating system. It was called Sun OS. Okay, we had HP UX. HP had its own. IBM AIX. Okay, IBM had its own. And many others. You don't believe it. And each one was different from the other one. So anyway, I learned a lot by doing sysadmin job in Wells Fargo. I saw an opportunity to switch to DBA, who did different department. I applied and they accepted, okay? And I became the database admin in Wells Fargo. I remember it was the first week of my job that my boss, Len, came to me and said, Abbas, I never forget that, it was Friday. Friday around 9:30 in the morning, she called me to her office, to a cubicle. And I went there and she handed me one piece of paper and said, Abbas, this is your job for this weekend. I said, okay. I used to learn, okay. I never complained, so thank you. And I left Kathy. Kathy said, no question. I said, no, thank you. I went to my cubicle and read that. Kathy was writing for me that you need to create a new database, okay? This new database is called HR, okay, for human resources. You need to create a new database called HR, okay? And after creating this database, you need to create a table space users, okay, users, and in that table space, you need to create two tables, okay? Account receivable, account payable. And she gave me all of the fields and requirements for this table. This was my job, okay, in one page. And she said, I was on Monday morning, she's gonna come and test this. See what happens. Now, you see what's happening. I wanted to create a database, okay? On the, at Wells Fargo, those machines which I had did not have any graphical interface that I could use, so I had to do it by hand, okay? And nothing. All day long, believe it, I was struggling with the system to create a database as you did, okay, and nothing. Okay, you know what I'm talking. Anyway, what the hell I want to do? I have not even created this. After that, I have to go and create a table space. After tables, I have to create two gigantic tables, and all of them should be ready by Monday morning. So I said, okay, what the hell? I'm going to come back on Saturday and Sunday do again. I was so unhappy. My mentor, the guy who was before me and had a lot of experiences in Oracle, came to me and said, Abbas, you're not happy. What's going on? I said, I showed it to her, showed it to him. I said, this is, look at it. Whose name was Robert? Looked at it. I said, okay, let me show you what to do. I said, what should I do? He said, make database like that, okay? He said, to make a database, just listen exactly what he told me, and I'm going to teach you, okay? And you see, it's not that hard. He said, to make the easiest database, it means very easiest approach. First of all, you need to have a good profile. Not profile, pfile, okay? So he said, create a pfile. He wrote it down by hand for me. Create a pfile. You guys know what pfile is, okay? spfile and pfile, we discussed about Aura init, okay? Do you remember Aura.init, init.aura? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the name of my data, the name of the database that he actually my boss told me to do was called what? HR. Following? HR. As a result, what would be the name of init.ora? What would be the name? It should be init hr.ora. So I made this.
Init, so is
I made this.
all the quest ID and the
Exactly. And this Oracle, since the database was HR, it means the same Oracle SID. So I made something like that. So he said doing that. Okay. VI init HR dot or this was my file init HR dot. Okay, I did empty. And after that he said all you need to do is put only one entry into this file. Is a requirement by Oracle. The rest of them could be defaulted. I said, okay, what is that? Right over there, I said, exactly, I said you are saying that. DB name underscore equal HR. That's it, only one. Following? Save it. Where to save it? You could save it wherever you like. Doesn't matter. But if you want to save it in a default location, the default location is $, Oracle Home, DBS. This is the default location for init.ora and spfile and pfile. So I made it and copied everything. After that, he said you need to log into Oracle. Since there is no database available, you could just do it like that. SQL Plus, no log. Okay? And I got this. Right? Now we need to actually connect, but no mount. Do you remember we did it last time? Connect, no mount. And it was the last step that we did, and everything worked perfectly last time, magically. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we could say connect. No mount. You can, right? Do you remember that we did last time?
Yeah.
The last
I do. I don't remember what happened next, though.
Yeah, I don't remember to use the no log, but I remember to connect them all.
Well, no log because you should not log in, because if you don't put no log, it's trying to log into database. There is no database, right? And the right away is going to give you error message. So by doing SQL plus no log, it means you just want to get into SQL plus as an editor or as a, but there is no connection. After that, you could say connect to no mount, okay? And after that, now you get this. You're still there, okay? Following, and now you could say create actives. That's it. Database query.
So then I run the query.
This database is created is just enough to do the job, okay? It has control files, it has, it creates several table spaces, including users, and including system, and including sysocs, okay? And it's pretty much whatever, and also create a control file. Pretty much whatever you need automatically will be created by this as a default. Okay, so it has its own default names and locations and size. That's it. And it took the whole thing took about 5 minutes for me. Okay, and he was watching. And after that was. I said, no, I need to create users. He said, user is already there. So really, I said, we checked it, users were already created. And after that, he said, now all you need to do, just go and create account receivable and account payable, okay? One thing I never forget that, he said before do everything, make sure that the load library, LD library, you remember we had is set to $Oracle home /db, no, /lib, otherwise not gonna work. I remember, so I forgot to tell you. So if you remember we made it export LD library, I think something like that. I think it's LD library, right?
LD library path.
Yes, exactly, LD library path. Something like that, right? Equal path.
Oracle home.
Equal $, Oracle home /live. Okay, and in order to be in the right in a safe side, you could also put $LD library path. If you already had some old value for LD library path, you have preserved them, right? You are preserving them. That's it. I remember this was very first thing I did here. After that, I create the pfile. I called it init hr.ora, okay? And after that, I got into SQL+, connect no mount, create database, job. Yes?
So, because the init Aura is in Oracle Home.dbs, it'll automatically create the HR database.
Well, good question, very good question. Let me tell you what's happening. Whenever you are creating a database, okay, what this line does is very interesting. The very first thing that this line does is trying to create a control file. That's what the very first error that you got was about control file. Do you remember that? This command is trying to create a control file, okay? In order to do that, it doesn't know where the control file should be created, what the name of the control file should be or something. It's gonna go to the pfile, okay, to find it. If finds it, no problem. If cannot find it, it's gonna go for default. Oracle is always smart enough to use default if such and such item doesn't exist. Always, for everything, okay? And this is really good point, very good point, okay? So I didn't provide any location or any name for control file, okay? So it went for default, okay? Found it, and after that, one of the things that I think it was a problem was control file in our pfile that we made was pointing to the area that doesn't exist. And it's trying to create a control file on a location that doesn't exist. It is causing a problem. You could eliminate that line or put the right location for that, okay? Understand? The other thing is this, the other problem is this. I have no doubt that you tried it more than one time, right? Sometimes or a control file will be created, but for some other reasons, the whole job stops. Next time, it wants to create a control file, but control file already was there, gives error message. Follow me? So in this case, if you want to be in a safe side, you could see this. You could say control file reuse. Okay? It simply means if control file from the previous tries already created, do not complain and stop. Reuse it. Okay? See that?
So you have to put this command before
Actually-
create database.
Before
Or,
what?
oh, put together.
This is part of your create database.
Create database,
You
control
have
file
create
use.
database
Oh, I see, I
and
see,
many,
I see.
many lines, and put semicolon at the end, right?
Mhm.
So all of these lines are semicolon down here. So it's the same. You could put them all in one line or put them in several
Oh, I
lines.
see, I
Doesn't
see.
matter.
Mhm.
This is important. Okay?
Yep.
So this is the item that you could say control file reuse it. Means, okay. After this is a very critical part of creating database. If control file problem is done, it's going to go and create redo log file and some others that you already specified there. Okay. If they are not there, it's going to go for default. All of them have a default. Okay, with the default size, default location, default name.
Now I have a question, because the book tells us to create the other data directory. Does this command going to create the directory, or you have to create before?
This,
So
let me
this is
tell you
terrible
guys,
compared with this one.
let me make a confession for you, okay? This is the book that is, in my opinion, is the best book ever written for, in this field, for Oracle database, okay? This is a book that I have been using for a long time, and still I'm using it, okay, at work. Everything that this book says is working exactly on version 12.2, okay? But when and I have been using this for a long time, when I offered this book for this semester, they didn't like it, the department didn't like it, because they said, this book is version 11, and we are offering version 12 of Oracle, right? So you need to find the most updated book in this field, okay? And I searched through many different books and talked to many publishers and stuff, and they told me this is a good book. The story goes back to 4 or 5 months ago, okay? And finally I got it. But I read this book a couple of times, and I tried several of the examples. They are not really accurate. They are not working properly. And what I feel this is my feeling, that the author of the book is not really experienced DBA, okay? Maybe he's a good author, but not a really experienced DBA. You can feel it. That's what several stuff that is giving in this book are not really working. You saw from last time that we followed the instructions in this book, nothing was working. And we tried to fix it ourselves. Do you remember that? And in the last moment, finally, everything started working, right? None of them are in this book. None of them. Okay? So, in this book, it doesn't say this, right? But in this book, it says that. It is exactly what my mentor was saying that. Let me show you. I can show you exactly like this, okay?
Can I ask a quick question though? One thing I missed in this explanation was that, so how does the create database command know to look at the pfile init hr.aura?
How you create a database?
Yeah, no, you see, you issue that, right? And you say it goes to the init hr aura.
Yes.
And how does it know to look at that file?
The default, okay? Create data knows that the pfile is there. Where? In this location.
Oh, and with that extension, ORA
Yes.
extension, okay.
It the default location. Oracle is using default. Of course, you could change this to any location which you want. Okay, it's pretty simple if you want to change it to any location. But if you don't, it goes for default. For the beginners in this field, No, they would stick to default unless later on they learn how to do that. I created this table like that with the help of my mentor. I didn't know how to do it. And once this is made, I added all of these in the same Friday, and weekend actually was my own. I didn't really go back to work, and I had fun. And on Monday, I gave it to my boss, and my boss very happy. But I didn't tell what happened. I knew that the default database which I have created, maybe in the long run is going to cause problem, because the default is normally conservative. Okay, it means sizes are small or medium size, locations are not in a way that I wanted, and for example, by default they made only one control file. But the standard of Oracle is having minimum two Oracle files. Okay? That's what we made two Oracle files last time, if you remember.
Yeah, the group is
okay? But default is one. So and only one was created. I never told my boss, otherwise he would get very mad at me. When everything worked, HR people were happy or something, later on I learned more from my mentor, and I added more, because you could add more. You could increase the size of table spaces, you could create new table spaces, you could move them somewhere else. You could change all of those default stuff manually, but step by step I did very cautiously, right? This is the way that it is. I never told my boss, I don't know that. I never said, so I know. Okay? This is a fact that you should do. Okay? Anyway, it worked. Now let's see if this book is saying the same thing or not. Yeah.
I think his question too was like, what about if you have more than one pfile?
More than one pfile?
Yeah, what's going to happen?
Very good question. First of all, whenever you are actually logging to, whenever you are starting up Oracle, whenever you are starting up Oracle automatically goes to this location and is looking for first of all, spfile. Okay, spfile, spfile.ora. If cannot find spfile, is looking for actually init $, Oracle SID. If cannot find it, it's going to go for init.ora. Init.ora is always available, is a default, okay, about empty. We got it last time and we modified that, all pounds on pounds on. Do you remember that? So this is the way. If you do not like any of them, you could do it like that. When you are starting up your file, starting up Oracle, normally, do you remember I showed you how to start up? Okay? You could say pfile equal your exact location that you want. Let's say your pfile is located in somewhere, okay? etc. You could say etc my pfile. Whatever the name is, doesn't really matter, okay? Any name which you want. And it's gonna use this file to start up. Following? But make sure that you put always pfile. Startup does not accept spfile. Okay? spfile is a binary file and is not acceptable by startup. Startup doesn't have a capability of handling binary file. Okay? Understand? So you could start it by this pfile, and after that you could switch it very easily. As soon as Oracle started up, you could just switch it to another file if you want. But if you, so this is the way that you could, if you do not want to, if you want to go for default, it's going to go for this one first, cannot find it, this one, cannot find it, this one. If cannot find any of them, if you have deleted all of them, okay, it's going to go for the one that you are providing. If you are not providing that, it's going to give you error message.
So to make sure the audit gonna look for the init audit SID, so first the audit gonna look to the value for the SID and then gonna search this file? How does it gonna work? Because let's say if I have a,
For that?
yeah,
Well, no. Two things is gonna happen. This one has a value, this one doesn't have it. If this one doesn't have a value, it's gonna be init.
default.
It's gonna go for
But
it.
if I have let's say init HR or init like test, and my SID is set to 8R, so it's gonna get the 8R, it's gonna avoid test. Okay,
Exactly.
got it.
Okay. So this is about this story, okay?
So I missed that. So you're saying, so the reason it found the init hr.aura is because the init aura, wait, so let's say that last part again.
Is that because when you're installing Aura, you have to go to your bash profile and set the Aura SID?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's gonna look on the
For
SID is gonna be HR, so it's gonna see HR. That if you have like another name, it's
look
gonna
for-
avoid, it's gonna ignore.
Yes.
It's gonna go to that one SID. If it's no SID set, it's gonna go to init Aura.
Yes, exactly. Clear?
Now it's clear.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna discuss about this in more detail tonight, but you're just asking a question, I just want to answer that. So now you see that the creation of database is not that hard. If you guys want, you could just do it that way, but at least now we have a system that is with Oracle, but maybe not as powerful or as flexible as Silver's version, right? But still, you have something up and running, okay? And if I find time, I'm gonna spend more time on it and tweak it. And you guys could tweak it later, you're gonna learn. Let me see if there is anything here. Okay, creating a database. Okay. It says a simple way to create database. It's right over here, okay? Look at this. It says a simple way to create database. This is the book, okay? Okay. And it says make sure that you have DB name in your pfile
Init
only.
Aura, yep. DB name, email.
And that's it. And the next page is, it says you're gonna start up no. I just said connect, by the way, you have to use a startup because connect sometimes is not gonna work for you. Just use a startup, it's better. Okay, startup
Startup no mount.
and no mount.
Then you
and
can-
after create database. So after no mount, we got this last time, do you remember?
Yeah, just one I got there.
Automatic.
Yeah, I got
And
one
after
there.
you're gonna say create,
Yeah, here where I got the error
just
after this
create
one.
database, and that's it. Job is done. As simple as this. Okay. As simple as. And also shows you how to do it graphically, how to do it non-graphically. This is extremely good
It's like
book, okay? Really, really good book. If you really like to be in this field, I highly recommend you to find it, okay? This is, I'm not sure that the publisher is doing this again because this is version 11, right? But this is a great version, okay? Really good book, and it has everything that you need, everything. Because written by the real DBA, Sam Alpati, okay? This is an Indian guy who has been in this field for a long time, and he knows a lot. This was about database. You guys could do it. You know, I'm not really. I don't want to interfere to your job on copper. Okay? Copper is yours. Practice. At most, nothing is going to work. We're going to remove everything that you've done and go for installation of Oracle graphically, and job is done. Okay. Now.
So we're gonna learn how to remove it.
It's very easy to do that because all of them located in one area. Could be removed. I can do it for you right
Oh,
away.
just delete the other home, right?
Yeah, everything is there.
Ah. Okay.
A couple of students sent me email before I continue. Let me answer that. A couple of students sent me email and said, Abbas, let's say we have created several databases, right? And you want to switch back and forth between these databases. How to do that? Okay. You guys could create more than one database. On here's we have two databases. Okay. Following. So this is possible. If you have more than one database and you want to switch back and forth between them, there are many different ways to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that. First of all, you're going to use square plus a user xxxx YYY, this is user ID and password, and okay, I call it, for example, cat, where cat is the name of the database, right? So this is one way. You just log into the new database. Okay? Make sure that you're not going to put any space between password and @cat. If you put a space, do you know what it means? If you don't put any space, it means you want to log in into a new database. Okay? If you put space like this,
Load the file.
that simply means you are logging to your current database, and after that you're going to run this script. This is a script. Okay?
Doesn't want to try.
This is the script. Okay? Following? These are two different things. With no space, it means you're going to log into the new database. With a space, it means you log into your current database, whatever it is, and after that, you're going to run this script, this whatever that script is, okay? And now, how about this?
It's gonna run the cat script on the cat database.
Exactly. First of all, you're going to log into the cat database, and in that database, you're going to run what? This is
Script.
okay?
I see.
By default, if you're doing like that, Oracle is looking for a script that has
Cat.sql.
exactly the name should be this. Okay? If you have some other extension, you have to specify it over there. If you don't specify it, default is .sql, and Oracle is looking for .sql. Cannot find it, gives you error message. No such a script. Okay? What is contents of this? Bunch of Oracle commands. Oracle command, whatever Oracle command. Select this. Okay. Now, so you learned about 3 different conditions, okay? Stick to your user body password. @cat has a space, and both of them on the same line. Okay? And now, what is this?
No idea.
Log into this database, run this script, and these are the parameters that go to
The script.
this.
Oh, I see. Like you run a shell script and put it on them.
Any parameter that you're passing to a script,
Oh, that's cool.
right? In your script, that's going to be $1 and $1 and okay?
That's it. Okay.
Now, let's continue. This is one way. The other way is you could log into your current database, and after that, you use connect, followed by, for example, you log into current database, and after that, use connect xxx yyyy @cat. This is another option. Okay. The other approach is you do it like that. you have already logged into your current database. You have already logged into your current database. And let's say you want to have a query. Select star from cost at. This means I have a table, it's called cost for customer, in that database. And I want to run that table, okay? So I'm running a query on that table. I am in another database, but temporarily it's going to go to cat, get the table, and display for me. Following? This is another approach. Now, what in all of these examples I told you, which I told you, when the job is done, you are going back to your original database. Okay? It means if you do it like that, okay, you're going to connect with this, but when you exit it from your session, you're going to go back to what? The old
default
database.
one there.
The same here. You are not in cat. You're going to go back to whatever it was, right? But what's going to happen if you want to change a database to be your default database, right? I want cat be my default database. I don't want OCL anymore, okay? How are you going to do it? Permanent default database, okay? That is, you could go to your profile, not the profile, I don't want to go to your pfile, okay, and use this line, add this line to task equal cat, okay, to task equal cat. From now on, when you log in, okay, this is going to be what? The current database. It means from now on, whenever I say SQL plus XXX YYY, my user ID and password, automatically is going to log into what? To chat.
So we don't need to send like a SIG hub to.
Because whenever you are using SQL plus, it's going to go to pfile.
Oh, I see.
Okay, and it's going to find two tasks. It means what? This is the name. Okay.
So every time you try to log in, is all look for DB name and
DB name, but later on you have this.
Because it's going to continue.
This is going to overwrite that.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Follow? Or some people do this way. Some people are using Oracle SID. You're going to set Oracle SID to another
Change.
database, and it's going to.
But make sure the pfile is there too.
Okay. If you are working on Windows, okay, on Windows you could do it like that. You could just set equal plus a cat, the name of the new database, right? And after when you are going to SQL Plus, automatically it's going to go to what?
Yeah.
This database. This is on Windows only. There are many ways, but I'm just trying to show you some.
So just again, the command is going to be connect XX right at cat, or is going to be SQL plus?
This is, well, let's do it this way.
First, I'm going to log into SQL plus. Ah, I see. I see.
Okay. Even though if you do not put no log, it's going to log to the old database, and after that you can connect it to a new database. Okay. But by putting no log, this is much faster. You don't have to log in the old one and after switch the new one. So don't log to the old one and after that connect to the new one. Take note about all of these stuff I'm telling you. Maybe you cannot find them in the textbook. Maybe I'm telling you, okay? Okay, so guys, Oracle comes with many variables. We call them parameters.
I saw that.
Variables are called parameters. You already learned about set up some of them in your pfile, okay? This is a parameter, for example, okay? Comes with many, many parameters, okay? And I can tell you hundreds, or maybe more, okay? If you really want to know, maybe 1,000 is a parameter. These parameters, many of them have a default value. It means they are hard-coded inside the Oracle program, okay? They're hard-coded. Of course, very often, you need to change them by putting the new ones in your pfile. So your pfile or your spfile are locations for all of these parameters, okay? You as a DBA very often have to go to these pfiles or spfiles and change them, okay? For example, I just told you I want to go to what? I want this be a new default database. I'm gonna put this line, 2task equal cat, and from now on, cat is gonna be my new database. Okay? As simple as this. So you need to modify them. Okay? First of all, you need to find a way to look at these parameters, look at them, and count them, and learn about them. This is a way that you are, as a DBA, should do. Let me give you some information about what we are doing at work, okay? This part is exactly from what we are doing at work, okay? Okay. Let's go to parameters, okay? Okay. Okay, first of all, one of the questions that very often you're asking the applicants is what is the difference between pfile and spfile? Okay, we are asking always this question from our applicant. What's the difference? Pfile and spfile. Pfile is the file that has the listing of all of the parameters available. Okay. Okay. It means all of those parameters that you want to define. All of the parameters that you are defining are here. Okay. Pfile comes with lots of comments. This is when we are switching or modifying or adding some new parameters. We are always writing in pfile that at this state, this DBA used this parameter, okay? All of our pound sign. This is a rule in many, many companies that whenever you are modifying, changing any parameter, you need to comment it. The other thing is you never ever delete any parameter from this file. At most, you're gonna put a pound sign in front of it. Never delete that, okay? File you should never delete, because maybe another time you need to uncomment it and use it again, right? And since there are too many parameters available, you cannot memorize which one you removed, which one you modified, right? So you have to comment. This is a pfile, which by default, the name of it is init.ora. Right? Okay. For each database, we have to have its own pfile. It means you cannot have two databases with the same pfile. Understand? This is doable, but we never do that. So each database has its own pfile. This is the reason that the name of the pfile is init.init $ Oracle SID, right, .ora. Because the Oracle SID varies from a database to database, right? It means for each database, we have a new or different or separate init file, right? Parameter file. That's obvious because each database has its own set of parameters. For example, in one database, you are creating 2 control files. In the other database, you're creating 5 control files, right? Locations are different, names are different, conditions are different, everything is different, right? So all of them are actually registered or placed in your pfile. This is called pfile, okay? So this is a good question that they're asking you. For example, can we have one pfile for many databases? Because in any company we have many databases. The answer is it's doable, but we should not do that. Okay? Unless you just make all of these the same. All of the databases use the same number of control files, the same number of p files. This is impossible, right? The same data files. Actually, it's not really doable. Okay, not a good idea. So, and in this file, you see a lot of pound sign to comments. Okay, and we are adding them. The fastest and more condensed version of pfile is spfile. Okay, spfile is a binary file, still readable. The Oracle calls it binary, but still readable. But you could see some junk stuff in it. Okay, when you look at the spfile, the very first thing that you're going to find out is all of the comments are removed. It means spfile doesn't have a comment. Follow me? spfile does not have any comment. Okay? My DBA in my company came to me, said, I want to add comments to spfile, but all of the comments are automatically being removed from spfile. Is there any way that I can add comments to the spfile? I said, what the book says. He said, book says no. I said, Abba says yes. This is how I said, I'm going to show you. Okay. Let me show you how you could add comments to your SP file. Okay? I made this parameter, but I put pound sign right after my parameter. And I said, I love cats. That's what I named cat. Okay. spfile does not remove those comments which are after your command. Okay? If they are separate lines, all will be removed. But if it is after your command, spfile assumes that this is a part of your command. Doesn't remove that. Okay? Because spfile doesn't have very smart parser to parse if it is a comment or not.
It's only parsing your line.
It assumes that the whole thing is what?
All line,
command, right? Or parameter. Doesn't really go and parse it. But if it is separate, pound sign, all of them will be gone. But the trick is this. If you want to keep some short comment, put it right after your parameters and will be preserved. I told her to do that. She didn't believe me. She did, and it worked great. Now she puts all this, okay?
So, but why we do comment on a SP file if it's binary.
Why we don't have it?
No, why we do that?
Why we do it? Well, to clarify, because I told you there are many parameters. And some of the parameter names are not very intuitive, because by looking at the parameter name, you really cannot guess what it does.
No, but if we put in the P file, we can still read it, but what about the SP file? Why are we gonna add a...
Well, the point is in some DBAs are deleting P file right away.
Oh,
Because
okay.
because of the shortage in space or something like that, they delete. They just make only one SP file and that's it per database, and delete all P files and everything. They think that they are making the job easier. Okay. Let me tell you that it is very easy to create P file from SP file or vice versa. You could do it like that. Create P file from SP file. In the simplest approach, you are doing that. You have SP file and you want to create a P file. It's gonna do it, okay? Following? In fact, we are doing this very often because SP file is binary. We cannot modify that. Any attempt to modify SP file is gonna corrupt the file, okay? Following? So we are creating P file version of it, go and modify it and put it back into SP file. Okay? Understand? This is one of the reasons. The other reason is startup does not accept SP file. It accepts P file. If you want to start up Oracle based on the P file which you have, you'd better have a P file. SP file doesn't do the job. Okay? Now, let's do that vice versa. You have a P file, you want to make a SP file. You could do it on a copper. We made P file last time, right? You could make a SP file out of it. You could do that. Create SP file from P file. Okay. The create command is smart enough to find which one. If you have many different SP files, you need to specify it. Or in different locations, you need to specify it, okay? If you do it like that, it's gonna go for default, okay? It's gonna find your database and assume that this is, your SP file is SP file, $ Oracle, SID.ora, and the same for that, okay? But if you put, what you could do it like that. Create a SP file, call it what? OD. I just made up a name. From the P file, which is named Nancy.
It's kind of like the DD command.
Yes. It's very easy to memorize it, okay? So you could, and location would be different. You could give a complete path from this location to another location. You could give a complete path of each one. Because some DBA file in Oracle Home DBS, they want to put it somewhere else, okay? No problem. Understand what I'm talking about? Okay, so it's very easy to create P file from SP file and SP file from P file. SP file is binary, is much faster. The reason that is created is fast search. We have many parameters, and sometimes for each job, many times Oracle has to go through a SP file and search for such and such parameter. And SP file is binary, compact, and searching is done very fast, and it doesn't have any comment. Because the way that it's going to go for scanning line by line, right? And see how actually time consuming it is, okay? Some DBAs are placing those parameters which are not very often used in the bottom of the file, okay? because it always starts from top and search for it. Okay. Okay. Let's continue that. We discuss about it. Let me see what is, if I have missed anything. Okay, now, how could you get the listing of all of the parameters on your system? Okay, all of the parameters. All of the parameters not necessarily means those that are in pfile and spfile. It means all, because many parameters have a default values and they are not specified by you or by anybody. For example, I made my pfile with only one parameter, right? It doesn't mean that Oracle has only one parameter. Oracle still has that 1,000 parameters, but only one of them is defined by me, the others are default. Okay? So I want to show you how to get the listing of all of the parameters in Oracle. Okay. Select star from V dollar parameter. Okay. It's going to give you the listing of all of the parameters. Okay. Okay. If you do not want to, by the way, those VUs that begin with V dollar are constantly being updated, constantly. It means as soon as you modify any parameter, right away will be changed, okay? Constantly are being updated, those that are V dollar, okay? If you use select count star from V dollar parameter, it's going to give you how many parameters are available. Okay? 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 Okay. So we discussed about that. Let's see that, what's going on.
So this one's going to show the defaults here, right?
Huh?
This one's going to show the default parameters, right?
Yes,
Okay.
including default parameter.
Is there a way to see just the ones we set, we change?
I'm going to show you, yes, yes. If you want a system, if you want to query your spfile, okay, you could say V dollar SP parameter.
Oh, okay. Like just the ones we set is the one we change.
Yeah. Okay. So instead of V dollar parameter, you could say V dollar SP parameter. That's going to go for SP file. Okay. Now, one thing that I need to tell you right now is okay. There, this is really amazing. There are group of parameters under the title of undocumented parameters. Undocumented. It means you cannot find anything about these parameters in any book, in any manual, anywhere. Because these are all undocumented, okay?
Hmm.
And what makes it worse is in several, actually, in many occasions, you need to modify or tweak or change some of these undocumented parameters. The question is, if you do not know what they are, how do you change them, right? How do you modify them? Okay. Let me show you how you get a listing of these undocumented parameters. Okay. How you get a listing of these undocumented parameters. To make your job easier, because the query is a little bit complicated, okay? I have made this for you available. There is the file I posted in our public directory, okay? There's a file I posted in our public directory. The file is called show. This is a kind of script. Show undoc params. Okay. Show undoc params. Okay. When you run this script, it's going to show you all of those undocumented parameters. Long listing. So if you add those undocumented parameters to the documented parameters, now you do the math to see how many are available. That's a lot. I really do not know anybody who knows all of these parameters and what they are doing. Because there are lots of them, lots of them. Okay. Let's talk about the homework assignment. Okay. This homework assignment is just working with parameters. Okay, just parameters. Okay. You could write it in Java. You could write it in Oracle shell script, Oracle script, or whatever you like. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter. But let me tell you what the homework assignment is all about, what the name of it, and you could do. Okay, it's really, really useful. When you do this at work, keep it for yourself. You could believe it, at the beginning you're going to use this very often. Okay, very often. We want to make the script, Java program, or whatever you want to call it. It's called show parameter. Parameters. Okay. Okay. If you type show parameters, it's going to show you all of the parameters. Okay. By the way, when they are showing you parameters, automatically they're going to show you the value of the parameter too. It's not only the name. You just see the parameter and parameters and the values. Very nice, okay?
But like key value.
Yes. So when you query that, you could do that, okay? Of course, if you say select star, it's going to show you parameter names and value and stuff. Or you could say select name, comma value, comma something from these are the parameters, okay? So if you do it, all it does is going to show you all of the parameters and the values. All, okay? If you use -n, I'm going to count them for you. I'm going to say number of parameters is such and such. Right? Number of parameters is 12. Number of parameters is 38. Okay? What I'm talking about number of parameters, we're just talking about documented, not undocumented. Okay? Undocumented parameters. Since those are what are available, you could take a look at them and you know where they are and stuff like that. Okay? when you are using -u, it's going to show you all of the undocumented parameters, union undocumented, right? It's going to display all of the undocumented parameters. All right? And if you use, what does that mean?
Count the undocumented parameters.
All of count number of undocumented, right? Okay. What does that mean? Display those parameters that based on regex, okay? For example, if there are a group of parameters that have a word lock in it, lock account, lock memory, lock user, number of locks available, and so forth. You want to display all of those parameters that relate to what? Relate to lock, okay? So, so for your regular expression, you could do what? You could say, if you just put lock, right? It means if it has lock in it, right? If you say, show those parameters that begin with lock, okay? Or end with lock. This is just regular expression, okay? Any kind of regular expression could be used. You've done it in your previous homework assignment about regular expression, okay? And if I see -n, it's gonna count how many of those, right? I'm looking for all of those undocumented parameters that have the word lock in it. Okay? Following. I'm looking for all of those undocumented parameters that begin with letter D, like database name, database size, database location. Follow me, all of them begin with letter D. Okay? And so forth. This is really, really useful. Okay? So any question? So you're going to make a script that would accept -u for undocumented, -n for counting, okay? That will display our parameters or parameters, okay? In SQL class, you could always look for these parameters by using show parameter by using show parameters. It's going to show you, if you do it like that, it's going to show you all of the parameters, okay? All in. And if you say show parameters, for example, memory, it's going to show you all of those parameters that have the word memory in it. This is, this is available. Okay. Anybody has any comment or question about this? This is simple program, by the way, very simple. And the due is going to be next week. And if you have any question, problem, let me know. I'm going to explain to you in more. think, by the way, let's see. The command is show parameter, not show parameters. I think that is singular, as far as I remember. You could try it, but I think this is show parameter, not show parameters. That is wrong, because in my opinion it should be show parameters, but I don't know why it's okay. Very often, you as a DBA need to change these parameters, okay? Let's say right away you need to change the parameter, very often. One way, of course, is you go to pfile and change a parameter and start up, which is not a good idea, especially if you are if your database is online or supporting many people, you cannot shut down right away, right, and start up. So this how you change a parameter without shutting down and starting up, or without bouncing the database, okay? Let me show you how to do it. You could use alter system set and the name of a parameter. For example, I'm doing this set log dash checkpoint underscore interval equal 600. Okay?
That's a SQL command, right?
It's just alter system set log checkpoint interval 600. Okay?
Inside the SQL section.
Yes, this is SQL command.
Okay, so make sure it's
Of course, in order to do that, you have to have enough privileges. You could get into the system manager and do that, okay? But you could always do alter system set such and such, okay? But it's not alter. Or you could say alter session set such and such. What's the difference between alter system and alter session?
You're gonna alter the section you are logged on right now. In alter system, you're gonna change the whole system that is logged in.
Exactly. Alter session is temporary. Okay? It means per session. If you reboot the machine, you're gonna go back to the previous value, right? But if you put alter system, that is permanent. Okay? Permanent. Okay?
But is the alter session gonna affect the another users too?
A good question. Let me write that here. Okay. If you do not want your old users, it means those who have already logged in, being affected, you could put deferred here. Deferred. Deferred means this change, checkpoint interval, does not affect the current logged in users, the currently logged in and using. But if somebody from now on logs in, okay, this would be affected, okay? But if somebody is already logged in before this command being changed or this parameter being changed, they have no effect. Okay? This is story of deferred. The other thing is, you could say scope equal, okay? Scope equal. Your scope equal has 3 values. Memory, spfile, or okay? Oracle put all of these parameters in the memory, okay? And when you change the value, they're gonna be in the memory, okay? Volume, for the speed, for the efficiency. So if you say scope equal memory, all of these changes will take place in the memory. And later on, when you log off or you shut down, it's gonna move to the spfile or something, okay? What is in the memory? If you put spfile, it's gonna put it in a spfile right away, okay? Nothing in the memory, in a spfile. If you put both, it's gonna change in the memory and also in a spfile. Okay. If you eliminate that, default is memory. Okay.
But you're saying that's part of the alter statement?
Yes, I continue that.
Oh, I see.
And put semicolon at the end. So this or this or this. Don't put memory as spfile both. One of them, only one of them. Okay? So deferred and scope equal memory are optional. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it. Okay? Okay, so we discuss about that. Let me see if anything is missing from our discussion to talk about parameters. No, perfectly. Just so subject of parameters is almost done. One thing I need to tell you before we continue that, and that is whenever you guys are creating any database manually, not graphically, okay, manually. Whenever you guys are creating any database manually, okay, as we did for copper. We haven't done it yet, by the way, but as we're gonna do on copper. Make sure that you are creating all of those dictionary objects. You remember dictionary objects? Your first homework assignment was what? What was your
Show
first homework?
users.
Display all of users.
Mhm.
How did you query that? You use all users, right?
Mhm.
Select name from
Oh,
all, select username from all users. All users is a dictionary, okay? Is a view that has all of the users. And this view is constantly being modified, okay? I think one night I explained to you guys that we have all users, we have DBA users, do you remember? There are many dictionary views available. All of them collectively are called dictionary, okay? And these are not created. And you need to create them manually. If you don't, you have made your database, but nothing is gonna work, okay? These dictionaries should be created. Let me show you how to create these dictionaries. How to create them. Okay. You need to be sysdba, okay? Log in as sysdba, or system system manager is also okay. Then $, Oracle home / rdbms / catalog.sql $, Oracle home / rdbms slash cat proc dot c. Okay? You need to run these two SQL scripts. You need to run these two SQL scripts. Okay? You need to run one after each other. You should not, there is no need to run them both at the same time. So, in how to do that? In your SQL class, you're gonna have
At
sign in front of it. Okay. To run it. Okay. Now, when you run these scripts, I'm telling you, it takes a long time to do that, depending on how fast your system is. But it takes a long time, okay? Because hundreds of views should be created, okay? Tons of views should be created. And it takes time. The first one is in charge of creating all of those views for you. The second one is in charge of creating all of the necessary packages to handle stored procedures, stored functions, and PLC. Packages that store procedure, stored function, and PLC need are created by cat proc. All of those dictionary objects that we need are created by catalog. Okay? Again, when you run any of these, you get tons of error messages. Error, 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 error on the screen. Don't pay attention to any of those errors. That's very normal. Okay? These errors really do not mean error. It's just nagging from Oracle. Okay? Some beginners, like myself on those days, really panic. They get tons of errors. Say, what's going on? Well, I'm getting error. They switch from system manager to sysdba. Maybe they could do that. Nothing is going to work. They log into Oracle account, and after do that, nothing is going to change. And okay. When for the first time, if you remember, I made my database. Do you remember? I showed you at the beginning of our discussion tonight. Very easy database. Do you remember? So I had to run this. And my mentor told me before leaving, because it was afternoon, Friday afternoon, he had to leave. Before leaving, he said, but don't forget to run these one after each other, and your job is completed. I said, okay. And I ran this, and I was like, okay, let's run this. I ran this, also tons of errors. My God, what's going on? And I said, maybe I was wrong and maybe I did something wrong. So I logged into Oracle account, okay? And after that, I ran them, no error. And I was thinking, okay, the magic is this. You need to log into Oracle account and after that run this, okay? Without the Oracle account, that would not. For several months, I was thinking that Oracle account was a solution for that, okay? Until one day, my mentor was doing the same thing, and he ran this and got a bunch of errors. And I told him, or asked him, these are not very normal. You should log into Oracle account and do it. I was teaching him. And all of them, he started laughing very loud. Laughing, laughing, laughing. And I said, no, my dear, the Oracle account has nothing to do with it. The magic is this. When you run this for the first time, you get a bunch of errors. If you run it for a second time, doesn't matter where, all of those errors automatically will be eliminated, okay? And he showed it to me right in front of me. Nothing to do with Oracle account, okay? So I'm telling you, there is no need to run them twice. Some paranoid DBAs like me on those days did it, but even log into another account and did it, and I think it worked perfectly. But you don't have to worry about it. Errors are just junk stuff, okay? And you're not going to have any problem. Before we go for a short break, I want to tell you one more thing, and that is, in this location, Oracle Home RDBMS, if you CD to that, you're going to find out hundreds or maybe more, maybe I can tell you thousands of scripts. So the location for all of the scripts that you as a DBA need is here. Very often you need to go to this location and run some of the scripts. You're going to learn about many of them in this semester, okay? For the time being, these two are good enough, okay? But you need to know where they are. $, Oracle Home or the BMS, okay? It shows you all of your. Just, if you're curious, take a look at some of them. See how they are made, okay? Some of the comments in some of these scripts are really funny. For example, a guy says, no, it's 11:30 at night and this damn stuff is not working, so I continue tomorrow. This is just a comment that's put in this. You could read them and have fun. I don't know why they did not remove it, okay? The other guy said, this is the last day of my job in Oracle, and apparently it's my last assignment in Oracle, okay? Tomorrow I'm going to be free. And it still is there, okay? You just go and read this, it's really fun. Anyway, guys, I got a bit tired. Let's go for a short break. I gave you a homework assignment. We discussed about how to create a fast database. Now we're going to go for a short break. Come back and continue.